Good morning. Good morning. Good evening. Good afternoon, wherever you are streaming from today. Welcome to another episode of Jesus, Joan, and Journal. We are in week 3, and today is day 4. I know I'm a tad bit tardy today, but forgive me for that. I got caught up in some early morning things that I was doing, and so I stopped. I didn't realize the time had gone or had passed the way it did. So, welcome and good morning. As you come on in the room, please drop your name in the chat so I could say hello to you, give you a proper welcome. And if you are watching this on the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Joan T. Randall. I'm the founder of Victorious Youth Press. It is a publishing company where we help people write their books and for impact and influence, and then leverage those books to create multiple streams of income and build legacy. So, good morning, Queen Esther. How are you, my love? Nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for stopping by this morning. And to all those who are coming in, I'm going to ask that you share this broadcast out. Today, the topic is going to be very juicy. It is going to be so juicy, quite juicy. So make sure you grab your pen, you grab your notebook, you grab your tea, and we will be right back in about 44 seconds. Let me play this intro, and then I will be back. All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you for joining. Good morning, Sister Regina. It is so nice to see you. I don't know if you missed my live last week, but I promoted your book and I dropped the link down and I talked about your book. So hopefully you saw that. If not, you can go back and watch it. I think it was Monday or Tuesday. No, Tuesday or Wednesday of last week. I did drop Sister Karen Bates. Good morning, my love. I am so happy you can join me for a little bit this morning. Thank you so much. So, Sister Regina, if you go back, you will see that I dropped your link to your book and talked about the power of the pen last week. So, all right, guys, this week we are in business building. Right. This is the week for business building. And all week, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we were talking about building businesses for the kingdom and what you do with these businesses, how you can use everything that God has given you and multiply it and replenish, right? So that others benefit from it. You did not come on earth just to live and to work and then to die and then your life is over, because we know that death is going to happen, right? You have a purpose, and the word purpose means for that which you are created. Good morning, Pastor Lexi, my sister, my friend. Nice to see you. For that which you are created, just the very word purpose, that is what it means, for that which you are created. So I want you to know that you were created to do something right here on this earthly kingdom. You were created to do something, and that something means serving, right? Using what God has given you to bless others. So today, man, I'm going to talk about something juicy. My topic for today, staying in the vein of business building, my topic for today is multiple streams, diversifying income God's way, right? Very juicy topic this morning, right? Very juicy topic this morning. So the scripture that I want to share with you for today is Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2. Ecclesiastes 11 verse 2. And it says, invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Okay? What more do you need to hear? What more do you need to hear? And I have a very good friend that told me recently, right? She was saying to me that, Joan, you do so many things. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. And I don't think about it. I really don't think about it, because if I think about me doing multiple things, probably I'll never do it. I just kind of go with the flow, and then whatever promptings the Holy Spirit give me, I just run with it, right? I just run with those promptings. So when she said that to me, I said, yeah, it may appear that way, but honestly, if you think about it, it all aligns together. It all works together, right? Mission, ministry, and marketplace, it's all the things. It comes together, right? I have a mission from the Holy Spirit that I have to do. I have a ministry that I have to, talk about the gospel of Jesus Christ. And then I have a business that I do in the marketplace. And they're not separate. They're not different. They align, right? They align. And you will find that when you do the one thing that God placed on your heart to do, and you become good at it, God starts opening up other doors and other windows, right? For you to be able to replenish and to multiply and to add on to what he gave you. Just remember the sower, right? The parable of the sower and the seeds. One got 5, one got 2, one got 1, right? The one that got 2 multiplied, he got 4. One got 5, multiplied it, and got 10, right? And the one with the 1 was embarrassed by it, so he buried it, right? Thinking in his head that the master had enough already. Hello? And so he was cursed as a result of hiding his 1 talent. Why? Because probably he was looking at the others with their 2 and their 5 and thinking that he can't be them. So he's going to take the 1 and hide it. Don't get caught up into that system. Don't get caught up into watching what other people do and the things that they are great at. And you look at your one blessed, beautiful thing that you have and think that you can't be like them. So you're not going to do what you are called to do. Don't do that. Don't look at anybody else. You just stay in your lane and do your thing, and do your thing great. Do your thing well. Right? So here is what I wanted to talk to you about today. So we read Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 2, right? But to go back to what my friend was saying to me when she asked me, Joan, how you do so many things? And I said, I don't know how to answer that question. So what I always say when somebody asks me that, I say, God has given me the capacity to do it. And I really don't think about it. If I sit here and think about all the things, probably I wouldn't do any of them. I just do it, right? And I said, God has given me the capacity. And at the end of the day, everything that I do comes back to him. Everything that I do comes back to glorifying him. If you see me doing publishing, it's glorify him. If you see me doing real estate, it's glorify him. If you see me doing ministry like Jesus, Joan, and Journal that I've done for the last 6 years, it's glorifying him. Anything you see me do, it's glorifying God. It's glorifying Yeshua. It's glorifying Jesus Christ. It's glorifying my Jehovah Jireh. So it's not really about me. I'm just a vessel, right? I'm the conduit. I am the middleman. I am the server, right? That's who I am. I'm just like the in the person, in between, right? So, and when you desire to be used by God, right? The more he uses you is the more he gives to you. Right? So if I don't think about myself, then I have to do it, because I realize this is not about me. And once I take self out of it, I end up doing it anyway. I just take myself out of it. I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing this for the people that have called to serve me. I am doing it because I have a responsibility to those that God aligns with me and connects me to. So my responsibility is to you. It is not about me. And because I want to be used by God, and because I consider myself a bride of Christ, right? I am going to do what the master requires of me. And he doesn't require much. Based on what he gives to me, he doesn't require all he requires of me is my obedience. That's it. That is all he requires of me, my obedience. And so when I was sharing that with my friend, she said to me, you know what, Joan, you are so right, because why do you think the Garden of Eden had four rivers or four streams? It is because you're supposed to have at least four streams of income, right? So I'm like, I am going to use that, Crystal. I am going to use that. She said the Garden of Eden had four streams, right? It's actually four rivers, but we could call it streams, which means it's a way of saying you should have at least four streams of income, because the Garden of Eden have four streams. But in Ecclesiastes, it says, invest in 7 ventures. Yes, in 8. You do not know what disaster may come upon the land. Listen, guys, if you are a believer, right? If you are a believer of the gospel is Jesus Christ. That's it. The gospel. That's what it is. It is Jesus Christ, right? And if you believe in Jesus Christ, you believe in the multiplicity of what Genesis told us. The multiplication is rinsing and repeating, is doing what you do and having the success and doing it over again multiple times to have those success. Success looks different for everybody. I'm not talking about money per se. I'm not talking about coins or dollars. I'm talking about success is achieving something that you did not have before, right? Is growing. And when you grow, you are able to steward that growth and help others grow too, is bringing people along with you. So when I talk about multiple streams, I want you to think about certain things. Good morning, Sister Cheryl. Good morning. Start with what you already have. You're not going out there searching for something new that you are not comfortable doing. You don't have to do that. You can if you want to, because that's how I ended up in real estate. I just wanted to, and I'll tell you why I ended up in real estate probably tomorrow. I'm going to tell you how that came about, right? Because it's really unique. And it really is based on my scripture for the year 2025. That was how that came about, right? And so start with what you already have. Look at your current gifts. Look at your current skills. Look at your current talents. Look at your current resources. What do you love to do? What makes you so happy? What is the thing that you do without even thinking about it? Like you're so good at it. Like even if you are say you're in a community or say you're in church, right? You are known for that person. You are known for the person who baked the most amazing cookies. You are known as the person who creates the most beautiful bouquets. You are known as the person who decorates the best, right? Because you have an eye for creativity. You're known as the person that stages homes when homes are getting ready to sell because you are just so good at it. You're known as the person that when you make your bed, people are like, whoa, what did you do with that bed, right? No, I'm just talking about things that you naturally do well. That is what you have in your hand. Good morning, Patrick. That is what you have in your hand, that thing, right? You are great at coming up with quotes for t-shirts. You are great at crocheting. You are great at creating, things that are just, you're great. Listen, I'm trying to come up with things and my mind is going faster than I can speak, right? Think about what you have in your hand. Remember, I talked to you on Tuesday about Moses when he got to the Red Sea and when he felt like, OMG, the soldiers from Egypt are on my tail, and the people of Israel are complaining that I should have left them there. And here I am, Lord, what do I do? And the Lord asked him, what do you have in your hand? It's the same question I'm asking you this morning. What is it that you have in your hand, right? You have more potential than you realize. Moses did not realize that that cane that he used, the walking stick, because he was 80 years old, the rod that he used when he was tending to the sheep, in Jethro's, farm for 40 years, that same rod would be the gift that he had in his hand. And when he stretched it forth, the water separated, and so they were able to cross on dry land. So what is it that you have in your hand that you don't even recognize is your gift? That you don't even recognize that is the thing that God placed in you for you to use. What is that? But if you write books, right? Or you speak well, you're eloquent when you speak, you're calm when you speak, you listen well. Like, maybe think about doing Toastmasters, right? And perfecting your speaking skill and use that as a income stream. Speak at conferences. You can speak at schools. You can speak at churches. You can speak at conventions. That is a stream of income that you can build, right? You can do workshops. You can do coaching. If your voice is soothing and calming, and you have a great way of talking to people, and people listen because you're captivating, or your presence, your energy is amazing. Why wouldn't you be a coach? Why wouldn't you use that innate gift, that innate thing that comes so natural to build on with all the things that God has blessed you with, right? I talked about the cookies. I talked about the cakes already. So from a biblical principle, I want you to multiply what is in your hand, not what is in your imagination. It's not an imagination. Those things that come so easy to you, build on it. Build something out of it that people need. I am right now reading a book called The Millionaire Real Estate Agent, right? And the title is kind of strange, right? Because of what it says, but the principles in that book is incredible, right? Because it's not so much about being a millionaire, but is how big can you dream? How big is your vision? How grand is your vision? And one of the things the author of the book says, which is Gary Keller, who is the founder of Keller Williams, one of the things that he said is, when you set a goal that is easily achievable, you achieve that goal and then you stop. Good morning, Louis. You achieve that goal and then you stop. But when you set a goal that is beyond what you even imagine or even think, then you become committed to getting there, right? So it's not about the easy goal. It's about the grand goal, the goal that is big, that you only dream about, that you may not even think that you can accomplish. But if you set your sights on those grander goals while you are working and achieving the easier goals, you won't stop. You will just continue. So the millionaire mindset is not so much about $1 million, but it's how big can you dream and how much you are willing to put in the discipline and the commitment to get there. And that thing just resonated with me, because I'm like, I think that's who I am. Like, I think that I dream so big that I'm like, wait a minute, can I ever even get there? And because my dreams are big, I just feel like there's more in me. There's more I need to learn. There's more I need to get to. There's more I need to do. I've got to be more disciplined. And then the second part of that is, most of us, and I want you to hear me well, my focus streams of income and stay calm, right? Oh my God, I missed my train of thought. What was I saying? I was talking about focus. Anyway, let me get back to this. Maybe it will come back to me. But you don't need to start something new. You just need to expand what you already steward well. So you don't need to start something new. You may just need to expand what you steward well and just go with it. Don't be afraid. Just go out there and put one foot in front of the other, because I'm telling you, when you take one action, one simple action, just do it. You would be surprised at the magnitude of rewards you get back. And when I say rewards, I'm talking about visibility. I'm talking about credibility. I'm talking about favor. I'm talking about blessing, because you stepped out there and you used the thing. And I keep calling it the thing because it's that thing. It's that one thing. It's that maybe two. Maybe you are one of those people that have the 5 gifts. I got one. And the minute I started using it and stewarding it well, God has blessed me like he expanded some more stuff. And I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't know I could do that, right? So just expand what you already steward well, because you don't need to start something new. Second point I want to make today is build streams that align with your values. Build streams that align with your values. Today, we're talking about multiple streams, right? Yes, you have a 9 to 5. Yes, you're focused on your 9 to 5, because the money that you get from your 9 to 5, it is what pays the rent and the mortgage, right? Now, if you're in a 9 to 5 and your 9 to 5 is the gift and you're working in the gift, I get you. Doctors, attorneys, I get it, right? You can just stick with that one thing. But trust me when I tell you, God has placed something else inside of you. And what is that other thing that you don't think about, right? That when you're home from your 9 to 5 and you're sitting down, right, at 5 to 9, you're thinking about the desire to do something else. Like, is this it? Is this all my life is going to be? I'm just going to work and go and then retire. And then what do I do? And then you have that feeling. You have that, that 5 to 9 feeling. There's something else in me, right? There's another way that I can serve. There's another way that I can impact the kingdom. There's another way. I want to do that. And just start thinking about that, right? So build streams that align with your values. Not every opportunity is your assignment. And that's why I'm saying build the one that aligns with your values. What are your core values? Do you have core values for yourself? First of all, let me ask you that. What are your 3 core values? What are they? Do you know? Do you have your value system in place? Because if you are an adult, you have to assign some core values for yourself. What are they? Like, what are your values, right? I have 4 core values, 4. And it's my core values for my life. It's my core values for my business. It's my core values for my ministry. It's my core values all across the board, right? It is learn. It is lead, it is love, and it is legacy. That's it. Learn, I'm always a student. Lead, I'm always going to teach others. Love, relationships, right? And the greatest commandment. And legacy, I'm leaving everything that God gave me on earth so others could replicate it. That's it. So what are your core values? Do you have any? If not, I want you to start thinking about that and write down at least 3 things that are your core values. Sister Cheryl, listen, I know this question. Do you hear me? I know what this means. And thank you for sharing that. Is this it? Is this it? Right? When you have to sit there and ask yourself that question. Is this it? And when you ask yourself this question, that's when you start thinking about all the things that God has blessed you with that you may have not even started using. What is in your hand that you haven't touched? What is in your hand that God is saying, I'm keeping you alive another day because you still haven't finished what I want you to do. I'm keeping you alive until you're 60, 70, 80, because there's still something I want you to do. Moses was 80 years old when he went to get the children of Israel out of Egypt. He was 80. He wasn't young. Not, maybe 80-year-old. I see 80-year-olds now that are really young, right? Younger than me. But what is it that you have not done yet that the Father is waiting on for you to do? I want you to ask yourself this question. Does this income stream that I get every day or every week or however you get paid honor God? Does this income stream that I get honor God, bless people, and reflect my integrity? I want you to ask yourself that question. Does what I'm doing now in this world that I am getting paid for, does it honor God? Does it bless people? And does it reflect my integrity? That's a question that I want you to ask yourself this morning. I want you to, here's a takeaway for point number 2. Focus on aligned abundance, not just random revenue. Aligned abundance, right? I told you I was going to tell you why I went into real estate, but I think I'm going to leave that until tomorrow again, right? Because you might say to me, what does book and publishing have to do with real estate? I'll talk to you about that tomorrow, right? I'm an author. I am certified in publishing. I've been doing it for 9 years and I love it. Now, all of a sudden, there is just this randomness with real estate, but it's not random. It is. Ooh, look at all those balloons. It is not random. It is not random. It's biblical. It's biblical. And I'm going to share that with you tomorrow. Okay, I'll share that with you tomorrow. Point number 3 that I want you to take away from today, talking about multiple streams, diversifying income God's way, is to prepare for uncertainty with wisdom, not fear. Like we're living in a time now where, some people might say, oh my God, I'm scared of what's going to happen. I'm scared of the economy. I'm scared of what's going to come. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid, right? Don't be afraid. When you have multiple streams, it protects you when one area slows down. Look at the pandemic, right? I had a personal development coaching business prior to the pandemic, right? And I had a conference planned the same time it was March and the pandemic hit like February and everything shut down, which means my conference had to be shut down too. And I decided that my conference was live in person, right? Everything was planned, flights and money was paid for speakers and all the things, right? And we couldn't, everything had to be canceled. And I decided I was going to take the conference online. And so I sent out the email and I said, due to the fact that, everything is shut down, we can't do the conference. We're going to do the conference online. And 90% of the people showed up online on a Zoom. It was over a 2-day period. I shortened it. So it was like 6 hours each day for the online conference. And the second day of the conference, good morning, Esconda. The second day of the conference, the Holy Spirit downloaded something in me. Hear me what I'm saying to you. The Holy Spirit downloaded something to me and say, you need to write a book called The Image in the Mirror, because a whole situation had happened. And I stood and looked at myself and I can't go into that part of it. But he said, write the book about what I showed you, right? And I said, wow, I'm going to write a book called Image in the Mirror, because it was going to be my story about an experience that I had with God, right? And so second day of the conference, the morning, right? That's what the thing came to me. And during the conference, as we are wrapping up, I said to the people on the screen, I said, I'm getting ready to write a book called Image in the Mirror, seeing yourself the way God sees you. Would you be interested in being a part of that book with me? Just like that. God whispered, a God breathed thought came to me in the morning and in the afternoon as I'm wrapping up the conference. Yes, sis, you were there. As I'm wrapping up the conference, I decided that I was going to share the thing that God gave me, the book to write, with the people on the screen. 19 people said yes. Do you hear me? 19 people said yes. And during the pandemic, 20 of us wrote that book called Image in the Mirror. So while the world was shut down and people were not in their business places, they were writing. The 20 of us wrote a book called Image in the Mirror. Let me tell you something. That thing took off. And just because I offered it to other people, my publishing business quadrupled. Do you hear what I'm saying? My publishing business quadrupled. It 4x. And that's not an exaggeration. It's like 4 multiples. See, like always saying, there's 4 streams of income in the Garden of Eden. That's what happened. It quadrupled. One thought, speak it out of my mouth. And that's what happened. 20 women wrote this book. So that's why I'm telling you, right? We were preparing. There was a time, that was a time of uncertainty in the pandemic. But these 20 women were building businesses in the pandemic because not only were they writing a chapter in a book, we were all building businesses. All 19 of them got their logos for a business, created their own online company. And we took 19 women, including myself. Some of them had never written, some of them never had a business, and all 20 of us created an online business with their logo, their branding, their website, and that's what we did. So in the time of uncertainty, we were building. We were no longer afraid of the pandemic. We were building in the pandemic. And I cannot tell you the level of success some of those ladies are still experiencing because of what they built in the uncertain times, right? So don't let what is going on in the world affect you to the point where you feel like you can't operate. You can, right? This is a time where you can start doing projects. When one area slow down, lean on your next area with those gifts and skills. Create a business buffer, right? You are supposed to be building something for the kingdom. Whether it's a mission, whether it's a ministry, whether it is a community, you're building something. Maybe it's not going out in the marketplace and building something in the marketplace, but what can you do to support and to serve, right? And here's biblical principle. Diversification isn't like you're hoarding or wanting to be a millionaire. Diversification in business is wise stewardship. My sister is on here. Elder Lexi. Like, you can share your link this morning again, Elder Lexi, right? Stop begging God for money. It's stewarding your finances God's way. It's discipline. If it wasn't for Elder Lexi and me having a conversation about some financial thing, I would not be the steward I am today with how I'm looking at how I spend money. And when you think there's nothing for you to save, there is. You cut out the Starbucks coffee. You cut out wanting to buy something new every month to wear on your feet or on your clothes. You cut out things and you're like, wait 1 minute. I do have money. I'm not doing the right thing with it. Yesterday, we talked about budgeting. Today, we're talking about multiple streams and how you diversify what you get, what you have. There's so many things. Trust, Pastor Lexi will tell you more. Buy her book. Right now, she is doing an online, coming up, she's going to be doing a 3-day sis. Can you drop that in? your 3-day challenge. Drop your 3-day challenge in, because you need to be in this challenge, man. You need to understand this thing. People don't want to talk about money in the church. Wait 1 minute. Why not? Why not? Why do you think Christians shouldn't talk about money, or shouldn't talk about wealth, or shouldn't talk about owning land and owning multiple big business? Why not? The Bible tells us. The Bible tells us that. All right. It is not about hustling harder. It is about building smarter. So I'm going to ask Pastor Lexi to drop her link to her 3-day challenge, because you should understand. And those of you who know, listen, I get it. That's great. It took me forever to get to this point. And it took God stripping me down to my bare bones to understand that I wasn't stewarding God's way. I wasn't stewarding God's way. Man, I'm telling you. So I know I don't want to run out of time. It's 8:39. I've kind of gone over, but I want to leave a declaration, and I'm going to put this on the screen so you can see it. You can grab a picture of it or just write it down. Break the cycle. 3 days to financial obedience. And it starts tonight. So it's tonight. And I think it's today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Am I correct, Pastor? Or it's just 3 days? Yeah. Starts tonight. Jump in, man, and learn. Jump in and learn. The reason why this is happening right now in 2025 in July is because a lot of you are worried about what's next for a whole lot of reasons. But I came here this morning to tell you that there's no need to be worried. There's no need to be worried. You just have to be smart. You just have to use the things that God gives you. You just have to use your hand. If you have relied on a 9-to-5 all your life, probably it's time you take a break and start looking at, what is the thing that God gave me that I haven't yet used? Let me go brush it off. Let me pick it up from the back burner and brush it off and start looking at that. Because this is the thing that God gave me: to multiply, to replenish, to subdue, to have dominion. To have dominion, right? Here's the declaration for today. God multiplies the gifts in my hands, and I build multiple streams that honor him, bless others, and create legacy level impact. That is your declaration for today. Write that down. Declare it over yourself. Declare it over your life. Declare it over your finances. God multiplies the gifts in my hands, and I build multiple streams that honor him, bless others, and create legacy level impact. And then here is your journal prompt for today, right? That I want you to write in your journal. This is not just Jesus, Joan, and Journal because I come on here and I want to talk. You should be taking notes. You should be writing things in your journal. There's a spiritual transformation that happens when you write. I have said that forever. There is a spiritual transformation that happens when you write. And for those of you who do not write, you're not honoring that. That is lack of obedience. And if you are a kingdom believer, throughout the entire Bible, it tells you that the word right is mentioned in the Bible over 370 times. There's a reason for that. So here's your journal prompt for today. What gift, idea, or opportunity have I been sitting on that could become an additional income stream? That's what I want you to write in your journal today. What gift, what idea, what talent, what skills, what lessons, what opportunities have I been sitting on that could become an additional income stream. Let me tell you something. God placed us here and gave us everything that we need to be able to live the life that He desires for us to live. We just have to steward. First of all, we have to know what it is. We've got to write it down. We've got to steward it. We got to water it. We got to give it fertilizer. We got to take the action. We got to put it out into the world. We got to serve all the people and watch the rewards come back to you. Watch the rewards come back to you. That's all I have today. Tomorrow, we are going to talk a little bit more, and I'm going to talk to you about how the whole real estate thing came to be with me in 2025. How did that start? Why did I decide that I'm going to jump into it at this age, right? Like, girl, you should be getting ready to retire. Nuh-uh. There's no retiring for kingdom builders. What am I going to retire from? Maybe I retired from a job at 9 to 5. But when you're a kingdom builder, you build until you're called home. You don't retire from kingdom building. Nah. Right? So if you're on this journey with me and you want to learn more about stewarding money's God way, I just gave you a link for Pastor Lexi Johnson to join her thing. No retiring in the kingdom, sis. We got too much to do. You know, and when you're building in the kingdom, man, it's a joy. It's peace. It's joy. It's amazing. It's incredible to build for the kingdom, right? You are working side by side with your Father, with Yeshua, to build this thing, right? So there's no retiring from that, right? So that's all I have today. I know I ran over a little bit, but God bless you. Thank you for being here with me this morning. And again, listen, I have a birthday coming up. Next week. So if you want to bless me as I continue with this phase of my ministry, because this is how I do ministry, right? My ministry, I'm a pastor, I'm an elder. I don't stand in a pulpit and preach. This is how I preach. This is how I do my ministry. So if you find it in your heart and lovingly wants to bless me for my birthday next week, I drop my cash app down in the thing that you don't have to do it. But if your heart says that, you know what, I want to bless Elder Joan, then feel free to do so. I would be so happy. But if not, I love you same way. Anyway, God bless you. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Thank you so much for being here. See ya. Bye, guys.